Phase 5 started not last year, but the year before. It was only meant to last for 5 months, but it didn't. It went on. Who here, and I'm going to read some of the signs, not all, who's had in the last year a car accident? Car accidents, had medical issues, lawsuits, or even closure of, finalizing an estate. I had 5 calls in 2 weeks, and they were the worst possible scenarios anybody could do to close an estate up, like living trust and stuff. It was all legal issues, and all 5. And these are all the things. Anybody? No? Who's been going through massive, not massive, but I would say some people are going through depression. And I'm just going to rename all of this, you can get 1, 2 or 3 of them. But medical issues and delays. You know, in something that you wanted a project in, or a new start of a job, or you wanted to move on, or move house, or dreams that you wanted, or a new business, that it's been delayed all the time. There's something always blocking it, right? And I know I brought this up earlier, which I'm sorry, but I'm going to say it again. Who's been noticing a lot of stupid people around? And I know it sounds very not holistic, but quite frankly, there are some stupid people that just don't get it. It's as if they're blindly being dumb, okay? And who's been not losing, but deliberately getting rid of people in their life? You know, like streaming down, not wanting to be around people, isolating yourself, wanting to be alone. But the other ones regarding getting rid of useless people, in other words, people who used you, I hate to say it, and you're seeing it clearer, right? And it's being more defined. Is that true or not? You've been very aggressive with it, I see, which is good. Who's been wanting a more simplistic and uncomplicated life? You know, and they're just tired of all the rigmarole and all the politics and the ridiculous intrigue that I'm sorry, if you work for another company. Who's been experiencing anger and frustration that they're usually, laid back and okay, but they're getting far more quick to anger and get angry and fractious. Anybody? No?
I feel my energy goes real fast sometimes, like for no reason.
Yeah.
I'll cry and I don't know why I'm crying.
That's another one.
Or I'll get angry and I don't know, there's no reason. It's just the energy coming through.
Yeah, and it's really to do, all this is the energy, it's a phase 5. And who's been far more sensitive, like you said, crying. You are the clairsentients, by the way. The clairsentients are the ones who are giant sponges and absorb everything. The logics are the ones who can get more angry because they're frustrated. And again, who's been having people around them, not so per se them, but who are angry all the time, but you're agreeing with them and they're having arguments with you, but you're also agreeing with them and they're still arguing with you. And you can't win. Anybody? And those are the extreme logics, I hate to say. Okay, so also there are other signs about who's been having changes in their relationships. And I'm not just talking about, male, female, whatever. It's to do with across the board, they're finding relationship changes, if there are relationships. It's evolving, and I hate to say some people are splitting up. Some people are finding that they're getting closer, very few, I hate to say it. It's like a 90-10 that are staying together as opposed to 90 changing. And they're not wanting to do it, and it's usually, I hate to say it, I even hate to say it, it's the women who are being the turnkeys here. They're the ones who are finding their strength and moving forward and forcing issues that normally aren't kind of on the table. Who's been finding that they're usually laid back but are speaking up more, far more? Women?
Yeah, they get in trouble every single time. But then again, it's kind of hard because, say it's a volunteer position, and I thought we were all on the same page.
No.
And then it's like, I'm just quadrant, but they don't want to leave it because it's part of my heart.
Yeah. Good.
And it's like, but I'm seeing these, it's like the mask is coming off.
Yeah, and it's dropping very rapidly.
And it's like, what were you thinking? And then it just kind of hurts.
But no, you know what? It's as if you can't keep your mouth shut. And a lot of people know I won't keep my mouth shut. But anyway, basically, in other words, you're stepping into your power, okay? Don't hold back on it. Then there's all of it, depression, which is part of who's been feeling as if sometimes they feel so sleepy, they want to go crawl underneath the table and go to sleep. You know, it's drugged state. I mean, not that you've even eaten anything like a ton of carbs or something. It's just that you feel so exhausted and you're tired and you don't know why. This is all part of this cleansing and clearing. That's part of that feeling of lost, no energy. Some people, and this is kind of strange, but it comes in phases, okay? It's not continuous, it's phases. Who's been feeling as if they've been insecure, even though they normally felt very confident? That is part of it. And then suddenly they don't feel, oh, you're questioning all your decisions. Oh no, I'm good, I'm just here. And oh no, I'm not confident. So it's like a, you know, literally a roller coaster. Expect that to happen more this year. This is phase 5. All right, who's been clearing their closets out? Cleaning things out and reorganizing or organizing things, yes? That's a classic sign. Now, what does all of this mean? There's far more, but anyway. Okay, what is really going on is it's a clearing, cleansing, and reconstructing the time you're in. Oh, by the way, one last thing. Who's been having memories of their past, things that happened in the past? Some of these weird, innocuous memories that kind of pop in. No? You think back and it's really strange, but that is part of a huge thing. If you get memories, I want you to write them down, because not to obsess about them. I want you to start going back and saying, why did that memory come up? What am I meant to be learning? Or is it saying, I've grown? I'm in a good place, okay? So write the memory down and then just make a note of it. Remember, you are your best doctor. You are the one who knows you best. But we tend to always trust other people, strangers, with information and our own selves. And in the book that I'm writing, actually I'll get it out. I will get it out this year, though, I promise. Don't start. I'm getting brief on it. It's this big. It's an interactive book. It's going to make you work. It's going to make you enhance your abilities. It's going to get you pushed, like all my classes do, but I'm going to make you really think about what you really want to be. So it's about trying to, what I call debunk yourself. You know, really find layer upon layer. What is the real you? Who do you want to be? And this is the process that we're in. This phase 5 is that clearing and cleansing. That's why you're having the memories. That's why you're feeling insecure one minute and then good on the next, or sensitive and angry in the next. It's like the pendulum is swinging the streams, right? And this doesn't make any sense. One minute you're safe, and the next minute you don't feel, oh my God, the job, the economy, what's going to go on? So all of these kind of diverse feelings are going to continue. Now, phase 5 is ending at last, I know. Phase 6 is coming in on, now there are a few things happening in July. If you see, what I gave you was predictions, and I know you've already seen everything. Predictions 2014, unfortunately 7 have come true, or 15 have come true already. Well, the rains, which everybody was laughing at me. Hello, it rained, but it did more than the rain. The tornadoes were expected yesterday. I think they're still expecting a bit, but there was a, what do you call it? A funnel cloud, a precursor to a tornado. We are going to have a hurricane off the California coast that lowered down, which is what we nearly had last year, which I predicted, but it kept lower into Mexico. But we're seeing more hurricanes, which is unusual. Just quickly going into 2014, which you've got the DVDs of part 1, that is. Part 2 is mostly Europe, okay? We didn't have the EF5s. I predicted 3. 2 have, unfortunately, there were 3. There was one that was not classified because, we talked about it earlier, not classified because it didn't damage any buildings, which is done. smaller tornadoes. And we are going to have tornadoes spreading more to the west coast, I hate to say. And this is an indication of we are going through a massive dimensional shift, and that's why we are reacting to it. We are energy, correct? This is energy, that's energy, you are energy, correct? And we are reacting to it. Not only that, humans have got to become not only sentient beings, but far more connected with the spiritual now. And we're coming into that spiritual heightened awareness time. And that's why 2012 was great. I mean, it was a year of turmoil, which I think I got, and that's a review that you've got of all the things I got right. Last year was really the cause was more or less 2009 to 2012, the shift of energy. Late November into December was the actual transition of the new energy. So we are the effect of the cause. Does that make sense? All right, so with all of that, we are now living what it's going on. We are going through a terraformer of the planet. You do know that, right? A terraformer is not only dimensional shift. The book is going to expand on all of what I'm saying, but we're going through 3 dimensions being interweaved. How many dimensions do you think we have here now?
3.
Ooh, no way.
It's a 3-dimensional universe.
I read through all kinds of
what we live in is 3-dimensional.
What we acknowledge is
knowledge.
Okay, scientists have proved there are multi-dimensions, and I actually read from dimensions. That's why my readings are totally different. So what I'm saying is it's not 3 dimensions, but it is literally 3 extra dimensions. That's why we're seeing more people are bringing, because people are getting more, seeing more things of the future, or they're finding their intuition that's increasing, right? You so very much. Since last August, you've been seeing quite a bit, right? And your dreams are getting more and more vivid, right? By the way, you can't lie to me. We say that about when I was to my fiancé, was to get really nervous. But anyway, basically, it's about interweaving all those dimensions coming in, and that's why people are getting heightened by all of these riots and everything. They're not settling for less, and it's not about I want. It's about rectification, justification, and that's why so many. And I, predicted, Christina predicted in 2008-9 the revolutions are coming, and how many countries have been overthrown and changed their governments. And there's still more to come, I'm afraid. So you need to realize that we are in massive evolution. Okay, we have been in evolution since we were created. Okay, in this planet, everything has an evolution cycle. We are in a huge, massive evolution at the moment, and the planet, unfortunately, is in an evolution or a terraformer, as I call it, as well. You go to USGS, and I have been correct with the earthquakes. Last year I predicted that the earthquakes are going to be far higher, that they'll be in the 8s even. And what happened in Russia? What was the Russia 8 point?
I think that's 8.4 or something.
Yeah, 8.4. And they're going to be bigger even this year. It's already started earlier this year. So it is going to increase, and it doesn't mean to say here, yes, and you'll see it. I don't want to be reiterating stuff, it'll be on the DVD. But basically it's in a drop gauge fashion, and East Coast is going to have far more earthquakes. It already is. In the middle strata is Ohio, and they're having it, not the Madrid. Everybody's saying, oh God, the Madrid earthquake fault system. No, not yet. And California will not be in the sea, so don't even look for real estate in there. Don't worry about it, not for some time. But it's going to be far more activity up north in Canada and in Seattle. Earthquakes, larger earthquakes in Hawaii, I'm afraid. And it's already starting to happen, and the mid-drift also. But basically, if you look at the Ring of Fire, USGS, you'll see how active that ring has got in the last, I would say, 24 months, right, 2 years. It's really becoming active. So we are in a terraformer. The plates are moving.
What's terraforming?
Terraformer means a renewing of the planet. In other words, you'll see more, I apologize, I shouldn't be using that word, but anyway, that's what it is. You can see more volcanoes going on. Last year, how many volcanoes went out and created new land mass? So you're seeing big changes. I hate to say it, or Japan's still going to be up there too. Regarding, there's so many other changes going on, but really I want to stay local to here because this is what's affecting you, not the global thing. If you want to find out what's going on with the rest of the countries, which is quite a bit, they're more or less touched on the predictions on part 2, which is on YouTube. Okay? And I'll send that link to you later. And it is long, I will tell you. I'm sorry if I bored you, but quite frankly, it's, I'm trying to get a lot of information. I'm trying to teach as much and give you information. And as I always believe, the classes choose you, and you don't choose the classes. Or like a book doesn't choose you, it chooses you, right? 2 of you weren't even planning to be here today, is that true? No? See? I know. I can see a lot. So it's about finding answers. So let's go realize it's your life, not ours. I don't care who is outside doing readings or whatever. They can't tell you what to do. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I can suggest, but I cannot tell you what to do. All right? Because you're the one who's going to be, getting in your car and doing all the, you think mistakes, there are no mistakes. They're just decisions that sometimes didn't work out. But they will make decisions to build who you are. And who would say, I don't know if anyone asked you this question, who would say that they aren't the same person they were not even 5 months ago, that they've changed? Right? 5 months ago, you're totally different, right? See? You're changing rapidly. And these are some of the answers that you'll find. That this phase 5 is massive, and it's coming into phase 6 in July, at last in July. July, in part of the predictions, I said that from January, which is when I started the predictions for this year, until July, there's going to be relatively not too many things in the news. It's all about sensationalism. But quite frankly, there's nothing going on. Rain, oh wow, I'm sorry, in California, it's so funny, half an inch of rain. Ever lived in Hawaii or monsoon rains or Florida? You want to see rain. But anyway, it's really, these are the big things. But quite frankly, the really big things, you watch out for July, mark my words. Have I been wrong? No. Kind of scary. It's okay, she wanted by the FBI, that's why she's behind the camera. But basically, July is going to be the spinner. Now, it starts in May. So I want you to take note. Remember, you are your best advocate. You start looking and finding out what's going on in May. May will start changing your life. You'll start things in, remember what your brain is. It is a magnet, and it will start drawing things into your life that you want. But if you're ready for it. So don't come crying to me when people say, oh, you predicted this, and this and this. And I said, well, and they don't realize that because I do readings in dimensions, I remember your readings, right? Briefly, don't ask me why. So I can remember what I read for you. So I'll say, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you didn't do that. Well, okay, so I was a bit of a couch potato. Well, I can't, a horse to water, I can't make you drink, and I'm not going to force you. It's your decision, great. But we're giving you the answers, or at least suggesting it, and you may think it's impossible to get there. But I see such fantastic things for people, but they don't want to, they're too scared to live their destiny. You understand? And it is really hard because, we're a human condition, right? We go through emotions, we go through extremes, and the last 7 years have been extremes, correct? You've been going through emotions that you've never even had, some of you, right? Relationship changes, anger, because you couldn't get some of you going through tantrums, which quite frankly I go through tantrums too. But you know, why can't we get it now? We all want now, and I hate to say it, being Western or you know European or whatever, we're a culture of pop a pill, get it now, be good, safe, and we're happy. No, it doesn't work that way. And this one is going to, that's why it's taken so long. Phase 5 should have only lasted 5 months. It's lasted 14 months now. I mean, car crashes, computer crashing. I had both of them, three computers like that. So, I mean, electrical faults, all kinds of weird things happening. I mean, you see the internet with the feedback on Phase 5. It's crazy. But, you know, it's not just me making stuff up. Oh, it could be. But I should try that, make stuff up, see if we can detect. But quite frankly, it is about us changing. And what, okay, I'm going to, two of you know about this. What happens to a caterpillar when it goes into a cocoon? Yes, that's exactly it. What happens is, it goes into a butterfly, right? But it literally melts down to its cellular basis to reform into a butterfly. What do you think we're all doing in the last 7 years? Why do you think it's been hurting? Why do you think depression has been not rampant? Suicides, last 3 years I said suicides have been on the increase. I put the numbers up, that's only one from one site. They've been incredibly all over the world. And it's because people don't know what the answers are and they're looking for it. And this is a quick one. I had a client call me, I don't know how he came to me, I don't know how my clients get presented to me. And he said, I said, okay, you had a gun in your mouth 2 weeks ago and you pulled the trigger and you wanted a dollar. And he said, how the hell did you know? Nobody was there. And I said, do you think so? How do you think I know? I can see a lot. And I said, the gun didn't go off, did it? He said, no, it didn't. I said, the gun went off later, didn't it? He said, yes, it did. They have power on the other side. But it's just, you don't get a free pass all the time. But he realized, and sadly, it was because he couldn't stand it. He was in such grief. His mother was one of the people who died in the towns. And he's an incredible musician as well. So it's, you know, we don't know. And one thing about me doing readings, I'm not allowed to judge. I don't judge people. I'm not allowed to judge. Even if a murderer comes in front of me and say, okay, I'm meant to read for you, I'll read. Because we're not meant to be judges. We're meant to be out here to give you the facts. Yeah, I kind of get heated sometimes when people don't remember it. I don't rip people's faces off except once. He deserved it. And he's acknowledged it, so he's survived. But basically, it's about really raw, giving you the data. I want you to live everything, and vitally so, in your life. You're going to be fine, all of you. You've got a lot of changes coming in. Actually, it comes in July, but by May, and I said May is the turn key. Okay, May, but it won't be until about May 12th, Phase 6. Phase 6, totally different. But it's not going to spin on a dime. It's going to take about 6 to 8 weeks to transition. You'll see things that you've wanted in your life. Relationships. Are you in a relationship? Ooh, you're going to be candy. Yeah, by June, end of June, July. We're going to be as if bees to a honey pot. So watch it. But it's again a judgment, isn't it? It's been rough, I know, and I'm sorry. But quite frankly, it got you to realize who you were, right? What you really stripped down and want in your life. Isn't that true? And who you want to be? But what happens is the pendulum swings the other way. And you have to realize that you are all going to be going through some kind of change where you are going to be very attractive to other people. All right? And it sounds weird, but just know that married or not, or in a relationship or not, you're going to be kind of out there. And it's because you have changed your mental and your spiritual, not only mental, because it's obviously attached to spiritual. It's like the tag on a kite. The spiritual's a kite and the tags underneath, you know, on a kite. That's the mental and the physical. Does that make sense? It's your spiritual that really changes everything in your attitude. But you get out there, but make sure that you know what you want.